Let's get this straight right now. I, George Patton, am here to apologize for slapping Private Charles Cole. Not because I want to, because President Eisenhower is making me. I don't believe I actually did anything wrong, but I just want to keep my job. So let me walk you through what actually happened, so you know what I was thinking. Now, imagine just getting finished with a brutal battle in Europe and walking into a hospital tent. Now imagine rows and rows of young men with lost limbs, brain trauma, and shredded faces. Men who will most likely die, or if they don't die, have their lives changed forever. I was honoring these men and thanking them for their service when I came across Private Cole, who seemingly had nothing wrong with him. Now, I approached Private Cole and asked him what was wrong. He responded, "I can't take it anymore, sir. My nerves are getting the best of me." He couldn't take it anymore? These men in here were risking their lives and were most likely going to die, and he was in here because he was scared. I hate cowards. Now, right then and there, I took my glove off and I slapped him across the face and immediately ordered the doctors to release him. Now, if he was a part of the Nazi army, he would have been executed right then and there for cowardice. Now that you know more about my side of the story, let me tell you more about myself. I was born into a military family where my father and grandfather before me fought for America and what they thought was right. The difference between me and them, though, I loved war and the idea of war. I believed in reincarnation, and I believed that I was once, in a past lifetime, a great marshal for Napoleon's army. Now, I innovated warfare in World War I. I believed that tank warfare was the way of the future. This got me started and made me organize the first tank school in France, where I trained the first 500 American tankers. After this, I led the US and British troops to a victory in the first major tank battle of World War I. Now, during this battle, I was out on the lines, front lines, in the line of fire, directing my troops, when I took a machine gun round through my left leg. I stayed out there and kept commanding these men, and later on was honored with the Purple Heart, and I was graced with the nickname Cold Blood Guts. Now, after World War I wanted to make more tanks and train more tankers. But, Congress wouldn't fund it. They didn't think it was a good idea. That is, until the German Blitzkrieg began in 1941 on Europe. My first task, that is, not job, in World War II was to command Operation Torch, which was the Allied invasion of North Africa. It was here in North Africa where I came up with my philosophy for battle. It was, we shall attack and attack until we are exhausted, and then we shall attack again. In Africa, it wasn't going too well. We were getting the shit beat out of us. The Nazi army was pounding us down into the ground. Our morale was low, and that is until I led 3rd Army into a battle, which we won, that changed the tide of the war in North Africa. It boosted the morale and all that. 3rd Army, before I got to them, if you can imagine this, they were a bunch of ragtag group. They were very undisciplined, to say the least. When I got there, that all changed, though. I was very strict with them, especially with their dress code. Now, I would fine them if they weren't wearing their correct uniform, and that included their helmet, which they would have to wear all the time, even in the mess hall. Now, I led 3rd Army into Europe, and we went through 6 different countries. Through those countries, we captured about 750,000 Nazis, and we killed about 500,000 more. In Europe, I wanted to go capture Sicily because I thought that was a breaking point in the war. Apparently, British General Montgomery had the same idea. Now, I couldn't stand the arrogant bastard. I still think he was overrated for what he did. When I learned that he wanted to go to Sicily, I thought of it as a race. Whoever arrived there first was the better general. So, naturally, as he arrives in Sicily, I already have it captured and I'm waiting for him. So, after Europe and all, I captured about 82 million, thousand, not sure, a lot of land. And I returned home after Europe, and President Eisenhower reassigned me to a fictitious force that was supposed to invade Southeast England, I think. It never happened because it was fake, of course. Now, Ike did this because he wanted to distract the Nazis with their biggest threat, which was me, while everybody else stormed the beaches in Normandy. I really, really wanted to storm the beaches in Normandy, but I guess President Eisenhower had another thing in mind, and I just had to go along with it because I wanted to serve my country any way I could. I was a very controversial general, and the public, they hated me. My forces and my soldiers, they respected me, but I know a lot of them that really did not like me. Which would explain the attempt on my life from what looked like Allied planes, fighter planes. Didn't understand it, I don't know why. But now the Nazi army, on the other hand, the Nazi generals, that's a whole different story. They respected me, and they feared me because they thought I was their biggest threat. They thought that I could single-handedly take them out, and that I was the greatest general of World War II. Thank you all for listening.